What's up guys, Thomas back with another Tech Tip Tuesday, and today I'm going to show you how to properly jack up your car. Now there are three different ways to go about doing this. The first one, which is the easiest, is having a lift. It makes working on your car so much easier. And the second option is the one that all of us do in our driveways, and that's using a jack and a jack stand. And the third option, which is the one you never want to use, is the collapsible one that comes with your car that's in the trunk. That's the one you have to use when you blow out a tire on the side of the road. Now starting with the easiest method to lift your car, that is of course using a lift. You're gonna put the lift arms underneath the pinch weld. So there's one pinch weld in front of the rear wheel and then one pinch weld behind the front wheel. And the pinch welds look like this. If you bend down and look underneath your car, you're gonna see a little seam that runs the whole center length of the car. And then you're gonna find two little notches, and in between those notches is the part that you want to jack your car up from. All right, so now that the car is lifted up, I can show you the jack points we're gonna use for when we actually use a jack and some jack stands. Now for the front of the car, it's gonna be this subframe brace right here, and you can find it. The front of the bumper ends here, then you have this plastic like dust shield, and right behind that, there's this little moon shape cut out in the plastic, and right behind that is your subframe here. And that's gonna be your jacking point for the front of the car. Now for the rear of the car, your jack point is going to be the rear diff. Right in the bottom of the rear diff, it's pretty flat there. You're just going to put your jack up there and lift the whole rear of the car. Now the first thing you want to do is pull the e-brake, and as an extra layer of safety, you can put a wheel chock behind the rear wheel to make sure this thing doesn't roll backwards when you start lifting up the front. And the front is where we're going to start jacking up the car. Now we have a low profile jack, but our car is too low for that to fit underneath the front bumper. So to fix that, we can use some ramps. And if you guys don't have some ramps, I'll leave a link in the description for some ones that we have on our website from Cusco. They're pretty neat. Then when the car is high enough, you can slide in your jack stands on those pinch welds, the same ones that we use to lift the car with the lift. And you want to make sure that the jack stands are centered with the pinch welds, or else they could possibly like bend, and you don't want that. Then you can slowly and gently lower the car onto those jack stands, and then you're going to do the same process to the rear of the car, jacking it up from the rear diff. Now for the rear of the car, I'm using a rag on the end of the jack so we just don't scratch anything. 2x4 is just too tall and we didn't have enough clearance. Now if you have a stock ride height car, you can just roll the jack right in there. But if you're lowered and you got an aftermarket exhaust that's lower than the factory one, there's like really no clearance. So the easiest way is to get twice as many ramps. So you'll have one for each corner. The first time you roll it up, all corners of the car are higher, basically like stock ride height. Or if you don't have that, then you'll have to like take the front and then jack each wheel up from the rear pinch weld and then throw the ramp under there and then lower it down. That just gives you a little bit of platform to now slide the jack in there and lift it up and then put your jacks on the side. Now the third way you're gonna jack up your car is one saved for emergencies, and that's with the one that's in your trunk, the little scissor lift thing. You're gonna put the pinch welds right in the center here, and then you're just gonna take this angled piece of metal and you're just gonna crank this thing. It's gonna feel like forever because this thing moves so slow. I mean, you could carry a full-size jack, but this one's just compact. And anyways, if you're using this, don't crawl underneath the car. This is just for emergencies, just to change the wheel, because this is just a jack. And even if you're using a like actual jack, one that would be in your garage, you need jack stands before you go underneath the car. It's just unsafe, really dangerous, and not cool. Really stupid too. So don't trust this with your life. Don't trust a normal jack with your life. Always use jack stands. All right, now with that being said, if at any point you're jacking up the car and something sounds weird or like, ooh, this feels a little unsafe, you should probably stop and maybe lower the car down and inspect what you're doing. Because, you know, these cars are heavy and we don't want to, you know, get squashed. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to send us an email at sales@ft86speedfactory.com. You can always ask questions in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.